AITA for telling my son's girlfriend to stay away from him because she is distracting him from his responsibilities. I, 50M, am a single father to my son, 15M. My then-girlfriend got addicted to drugs and walked out shortly after he was born. She is no longer in our lives. My son has been making exceptional grades, and he plays for his high school's baseball team. He is pretty good at that, though my opinion may be a little biased, LOL anyway. That was until he started dating a girl, 17F. They met when they were assigned as partners on a project, and I guess they hit it off pretty fast because this came out of the blue for me when I picked him up one day, and he just said, "Dad, I have a girlfriend now." I was proud and excited for him that my son was finally becoming a man. I also had a remedial version of the talk with him, can never be too careful. They've been dating for the past few months and they seem very happy together, but my problem is that my son's grades have been slipping. He's been skipping out on chores at the house and missing practice games. I'm not mad that he is dating. However, that should come after business, school, baseball, etc. So last week I told him that he is no longer allowed to spend time with her unless he gets his shit together. He responded, "But Dad, I really like this girl." I told him, "That doesn't matter. If you fail and flunk out of school, I don't want you seeing her, and that's final." He signed and said, "Fine." I figured that was the end of it. Well, until yesterday when I come back home from the store and I found them on the living room couch together. He lied to me and said he would have a friend over to study. My son froze like a deer in headlights. I told him to go to his room, and then I turned to his GF. Now I'll admit that I might have been a little stern, but told her to get the hell out of my house and stay away from my son. He doesn't need this distraction, and if I ever catch you two together again, it won't be pretty for either of you. Then the waterworks started, and she stormed out. I go upstairs to my son, who is already on the phone, telling my mother and my sister. His aunt and grandmother have always spoiled him. I take the phone and try to explain, but I'll get lectured for being too hard on him, he's just a boy, etc. I'm just trying to keep my son from ruining his life before it even starts. If he fixes his grades and everything, he can see her again. So I figured it'd be best to get an unbiased third-party opinion.
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Inner Lens if you haven't already. Your support helps us keep creating content like this. Also, hit the notification bell so you never miss more interesting stories. And if you have any suggestions or stories you'd like to hear, leave them in the comments.
Edit. Okay, so first, I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to give me this well-deserved, years-long overdue attitude adjustment. Was an asshole in this situation. While I was in the right to be worried about my son's academic performance and his responsibilities at home, I'll admit that I let my temper get the best of and I acted on impulse with how I handled this situation. I shouldn't have yelled at that girl. After talking to my son, it turns out that he never told her that he wasn't allowed to see her. She didn't know, and I should have gone to my son instead of taking it out on her. My job plus the past trauma from my ex leaving are not stresses that I can self-manage anymore. I'm done lying to myself, and I will be looking into therapy soon. My son has invited her over for dinner later this week. I plan to apologize and explain the situation, and I'll try to work with them to have fair rules that will encourage my son to stop slacking off while also allowing him to spend time with her. You get more flies with honey and vinegar, and prohibition will only make my son lie and sneak around, which could lead him to doing dangerous, irresponsible things. I showed my son some of the comments, and he's been laughing his ass off at everyone roasting me, LOL. I may post another update this week after dinner if I remember. Thanks.
You're allowed to be angry your son did lie to you and go behind your back, but holy Christ on a bike, that is no excuse to threaten anyone. You're a 50-year-old man, right? How hard would it have been to, in a calm manner, simply ask your son's GF to leave, and then go and talk to your son about what happened? Your son's GF is not responsible for his actions and choices. Also, finally becoming a man, LMAO, this coming from a guy who let his anger get the better of him and threatened a teenage girl. If you know so much about being a man, apologize to your son, and especially his girlfriend.
Yeah, he threatened her until she cried and ran from the home. And he's a corrections officer and he threatened her. I would be calling his job, I would be calling the police department. I'd be calling his sergeants or commanding officer and probably the city that he worked in to report him. I just cannot believe in any world someone thought that they could yell at a child that's not theirs for something that their child probably instigated or neglected to explain.
Yes. If there's anything centuries of classic love stories have as a catalyst, is the overwhelming support of the parents. You're bang on the right track there. Yes, sirree, I can't see any glaringly obvious problem with adding a forbidden romance element to their young lives. Fucking hell. Were you born 50?
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Inner Lens and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our stories. Your support means a lot and helps us keep bringing interesting, high-quality content. Join the community and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think and what types of stories you'd like to hear next. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.